Hey, what's up, Falcon Force? Welcome back to the Nest, and welcome to episode 3 of the process of starting over. So, I got a comment on one of the other videos that made me want to make a whole entire video about motivation and how it works, and basically where my motivation stems from, and how you could possibly get your motivation in order to continue doing things. So, let's go ahead and read the comment. The comment is from NA3585, and here's the comment. Yo, let's go! Glad to hear from you again, because I hadn't posted for a while. I'm going to be taking my second test for civil engineering soon. Civil engineering, my bad. In January. But I sadly put that off way too long and procrastinated too much. How are you finding the motivation and courage to take these tests without fear of failing or disappointing anyone? To me, taking big tests is intimidating and nerve-wracking. How are you doing it? Okay, so NA, to answer your question, which I'm sure a lot of other people have a question about too, they're like, dude, this guy has so much motivation. Oh my goodness, how do I get motivation? I want to be able to do these things that this person does. Well, I want to say two things first. First of all, the grass is always greener on the other side. I am not as motivated as I look. I am definitely more motivated than most people, but even I mess up. I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm still human. Okay. The second thing that I have to say is basically, well, you know what? I'll say that last. I'll say that part last, okay? But let's go ahead and go through my little list here, all right? So, how do you find motivation for what you do? Well, first of all, what do? Well, the first thing that I've been doing recently is I've been studying cybersecurity to hopefully get 2 certifications for my job. I'm going to basically get myself some work experience in the area that'll look good on my resume. Then I'll go ahead and apply some other places. So then not only will I have my 2 certs at a young age, I'll have a good resume and background in order to do it. I'll have a little bit of experience so I can speak the language better to coworkers and speak the language better to the interviewer who's trying to get me the job. So that's the first thing I'm doing. The next thing that I'm doing is obviously this podcast, and I'm going to be doing a podcast with a person named Logan Weeson. He's awesome. I love him so much. He is a 3D art designer, really cool stuff. But we're going to be doing that, just trying to share information with young adults and young entrepreneurs who really want to get their life started, but they don't really know where to start. I'm not necessarily going to be handing them information about, hey, this is how you start your business, but I'll be handing them information that'll help them get out the door and basically be able to talk to their coworkers, move them forward in the right direction, giving them tips and tricks in order to do that. So those are the 2 things that I'm doing right now, if that's what I'm doing, okay? I'm also a worship leader at my church that I go to, so I'm a high school worship leader, and I end up leading the high school room in worship. And I also end up helping high school students basically find their way as well. So that's pretty cool stuff. Now, how do I find the motivation for what I do? Okay, so the first question that we have to ask is, why are you doing what you're doing in the first place? Okay, so if you want to be a civil engineering student and you're taking tests in order to get to civil engineering, why do you want to do what you're doing? If you're not finding the if you're procrastinating and not finding the motivation and courage in order to do it, and using your comment as big words, and you're describing this as a big test, I would say that the main thing that you're doing to yourself already is you're basically putting this really high on the scale, and you're almost putting in your mind that you're not going to be able to do it. You're saying that you're scared and you have fear of failing and disappointing people. I have to say, out of that whole entire list, I think that's the only thing that I don't have. I do not have a fear of failing or disappointing anyone, because I know that other people have passed this test. I know my dad has passed this test, and I know that other people that he knows have passed this test. And so I know that I can pass this test. The other part is disappointing people. It doesn't matter what you're going to do. You're going to disappoint people in life, okay? You are going to disappoint people. It doesn't matter. Anything you do is going to disappoint someone. Saying that I'm a Christian disappoints people. It actually makes people angry and makes people want to click off this video. But that doesn't matter. People are going to do that anyways, okay? Whether you accept my advice or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, okay? I'm going to say the advice, and that advice is going to hurt people. That advice is going to make people happy. It doesn't matter. You're going to disappoint people no matter what you do. So my motivation and my courage doesn't come from fear of failing or disappointing anyone. It does not come from those. As a matter of fact, I would say if you have those, stray from those immediately. Run away from those as fast as you can, because disappointing anyone is going to happen, and failing is something that you need to not think about, because other people have done what you're trying to do, no matter what. So the second thing that I would say is, where do I get my motivation from? Well, first of all, I am a child of God, and I want to be a good steward. In Ephesians 5, verse 17, it says to walk circumspectly, redeeming the time, for the days are evil. And that's paraphrasing a little bit. I would use my phone to see the Bible verse, but I am using my phone to record. But it basically is talking, circumspectly means to walk carefully, to walk smartly, to think about each step that you're taking. So that's the first thing that I would say. And being a good steward of God is also in the Bible too. He says to be a good steward of what has been given to you. To whom much has been given, much is expected. I'm trying to remember the exact verse, but basically, being a good steward of God means being a good steward of what you've been given and using it in order to bolster yourself and move yourself in the right direction. So I know that I've been given the ability in order to speak to people and given the ability in order to talk to people, and I really do want to be able to make this work. Knowing that I want to make this work because I have the resources and availability in order to do it and the skill to be able to do it makes me want to do it more. So that is being the good child of God / good steward portion of what I like doing. I already know that I like doing this too, which leads me to my next point. The why behind what you're doing has to make you excited. And I'm not saying it has to make you super excited. Whatever it is, you have to find something in what you're doing that has to make you excited. And people are going to find this stupid because they're like, okay, well, going to work on the daily doesn't make me excited. Okay, sure. Going to work a 9 to 5 every day that you don't like working is not going to make you excited. If you don't like working there, it's not going to make you excited. However, you could find something about it that can make you excited. I really love talking to this specific person. I really love this specific part of my job. I can't wait to do that part. I really love clocking out of work every day so I can go home and start my side project. You can think of things that'll get you excited and give you the momentum to continue pushing past the things that you don't like so you can get to the things that you do like. So I would say the why has to make you excited. You can find out whatever that why is. There will be something that will make you excited. And sorry about my voice, by the way, guys. I haven't talked a lot today, so my voice is really quiet and my nose is kind of stuffy, so it's like my voice is affected by it. Okay, so that's the next reason. So first of all, I'm a child of God. I want to be a good steward of what I have. Second of all, my why makes me excited. What do I want to do? Well, I know that I find joy in making people happy. I find joy in making people excited and making people want to get back on track. I find the joy in basically I need to lift up my chair. I find the joy in basically just making people smile. And I love that. I love giving information to others. I love seeing others be uplifted when I get to talk to them. I love others walking away from the conversation knowing that conversation was a good conversation. That is my goal with the conversations that I have with people. So my goal overall is this podcast. My goal overall is the podcast with Logan. I want to be able to provide information with people. My goal for cybersecurity is to put money into these podcasts that I'm doing to hopefully build some sort of business and build a foundation for other people. Maybe possibly I could build another business on the side so I can gather more information to pour towards you guys that I've learned from my entrepreneurial businesses so I can give you guys even more information. That's my goal. My goal is all centered around others. And I love giving things to others. I love being able to help others out. So if that's my goal, that's my encouragement, that's my way to go forward, that's where I get my courage and motivation from. What's the last step? Well, step 3 is the door open? We talked about this in the last video, which is the thing that I wanted to talk about before. I said I had 2 points. The other thing I wanted to talk about before in the last video was luck. We talked about how luck is when opportunity and preparedness meet. You also posted another comment talking about, well, it's not just preparedness because you have to be working towards that goal the entire time, but that is preparedness. You are working towards that goal. You're doing the best in order to make sure that you are prepared. So if you're not prepared, then you're not going to get the goal. Thus, you have to work towards it all the time so you can be prepared when that opportunity meets itself. And then you also said the fact that you have to go look for that opportunity. Of course, when you're preparing yourself, that is part of searching for the opportunity. So whatever you have to do in order to make that opportunity appear, or if you do have to wait in order to make that opportunity appear, that's what you're doing. So luck is when opportunity and preparedness meet. Is there an open door to go do what you're doing? Like I said in the last video, my dad always said luck is when opportunity and preparedness meet. So if that's what you're trying to do and that's what you really want to do, you have to make sure you're preparing yourself for that opportunity. So civil engineering is what you're trying to do. In this case, NA. I don't know what the rest of you guys are trying to do because I'm talking to all of you guys. I don't know what the rest of you guys are trying to do, but if your goal is civil engineering, find out the why that makes you excited behind what you're trying to do. Because I know if you're going into civil engineering, there has to be something that you're able to find that you really enjoy. The other part of it is, if you're a Christian, being a good steward of what God has given you, you've been given the ability in order to go do this thing, go ahead and do it, okay? You're not disappointing others. Don't have a fear of failing or disappointing anyone. The only person that you should have a healthy fear of is God if you are a Christian, okay? That is the only person that you should be afraid of, because not necessarily saying, oh my gosh, I'm so scared of God, but saying, if I don't do what God tells me to do, dang, that's scary, because he's the creator of the universe. Okay, so is there an open door? The why has to make you excited. being a good steward, all these things to come back and say, where do you find your motivation? Well, that's where I find my motivation. And that's how you can get your motivation too. So find out the why is to make you excited. Okay. Find out your reason for doing what you're doing. Find out if there's an open door to go do what you're doing. And then if you need even more motivation, find a third step. And if you're a Christian, being a child of God and being a good steward is something that's helped me a lot too as I've been going down my walk with God. So what's next? All right. This is the process of starting over. This is the process of finding out how to make yourself a better person. All right. So what's next? Next up, there will be a video tomorrow. I'll be tackling Dancing Dragon's comment about what is a calling and can you truly be called by God to do something? And I'll talk about that in the next video. There's also another video too. How do I reach my goals? I wrote down something for that as well. So we're going to be learning something about reverse engineering in order to reverse engineer where to find your goals. So I'll be talking about those in the next couple of videos too. If you want to go watch some more videos, there will be videos here that you can go and watch. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, there will be a little button here to subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one, okay? And if you guys have any more questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best in order to answer them. And yeah, see you guys in the next one, all right? Stay strong, fly on, Falcon Force, and peace out.